Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. On today's disc review, we are going to be taking a look at the Maiden from Westside Discs. So before we begin, I just want to give a huge shout out to Richie Ortiz, a local pro who absolutely bombs, for lending us his arm for this review. He is the creator of the Disc Golf Bro Tour YouTube channel, so go show him some love. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. Again, thank you so much, Richie, for helping a guy out. Let's go ahead and kick off this review first looking at the profile. So, for the Maiden, it has a slight dome in the premium plastic. Even the baseline plastic I have did also have a slight dome, but I know there are flatter versions. But even with that slight dome, I would not consider the Maiden to be a deep putter. In fact, I would consider it more on the shallow to medium side, kind of in that nice Goldilocks zone. Not too shallow, but not overly deep as well. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the flight numbers for the Maiden. It is a speed 3, glide 4, turn 0, and a fade of 1, which even for a noodle arm player, I think is very accurate. This is a good point and shoot style putter. Just throw it out flat. It'll ride very straight, and then just as it slows down, it'll have a little bit of a finish. Also, it's very torque resistant, so even if you rip into it, you don't have to worry about it getting too much turn, particularly in the premium plastics. It's going to ride out very straight, again, have that predictable finish, which makes it just perfect for point and shoot style throws, where you just want it to go right at the basket. Also, it is a great disc for kind of holding the line. So it's not overstable where it's going to like fight out of an anhyzer, but if you start it on that anhyzer angle, it has enough torque resistance to not turn into an accidental thrower. All right, so that was with the noodle arm, but how about with the pro arm?
The Maiden is one of my favorite discs in my bag, and it really is one of those discs that makes me out on the course. First thing I use it for is I use it for putting. And it's really great for that straight putt that really doesn't get much fade at all. You can be 20 feet, 30 feet, or 40 feet away, or even more, and it's gonna pretty much go straight. That's one of my favorite things about it. Plus, it's a little bit more shallow than most traditional putters, and so it's gonna feel really great in the hand. When it comes to throwing the Maiden, I do so a lot on the course, and it really depends on the shot what type of plastic I use out there. These are the BT mediums, and these typically have a little bit more turn on them. So if I wanted to get something maybe in a tailwind and I still want it to go straight, I'll use these BT mediums. Now, if I wanted to throw a drive with a lot of power, maybe I'm between 300 and 330 away from a pin, and I really want it to go dead straight, but I'm using absolute max speed, I want to throw these BT hards because they still have a little bit of that left to right, but it's not going to go too much left to right for me. Now, when I'm driving the disc and I need a little bit more straight or even a fade at the end, I'm going to use the VIP Maidens. Now, these are really great for throwing full power shots, expecting that they're going to go straight for about 90% of the flight, and then they will end up fading for me. And then finally, one of my favorite things to do with the Maiden, let's say I'm like in a bush or something like that, and I need to pitch out and I only have this forehand. With that, I know that if I throw it, and I don't even have to throw it full power, it's gonna get a lot of straight flight. And so I'll use this on these forehand outs when I need to continue straight. The other really good use for the Maiden is if you put it on a slight anhyzer line and you throw it really well, you should get this sweeping left to right finish on the disc where you know it's going to continue to the right. It's not going to die too hard to the right on the ground and turn into a roller, but it's going to just sweep all the way to the right. And that's one of the best shots with the Maiden, something that I really trust when I throw it.
Thank you very much again, Richie, for your help. Hopefully we can get him on the channel a little bit more often. So Richie did give us a pro's perspective when it came to putting with the Maiden, and I want to echo his point about this being straight, because it is a very straight putter. Whether I'm in the circle or even just a little bit outside, it is straight. However, being an amateur, because I don't get nearly as much spin on the disc, at range, it can start to get a little bit of a dump. Alright, now for the different plastic types, and the Maiden does come in a wide variety, both premium and also in baseline, so you can really find the one that fits your style play, because yes, they come both soft and fairly stiff. I have the VIP and also the Origio Burst, and the VIP out of the box is going to be very overstable, again straight with a little bit of fade, versus the Origio Burst is going to be straighter, but it's also going to break in very quickly, making it great for just effortless turnover shots, as even when thrown flat, you are going to be able to get those nice turns, versus the VIP out of the box, you're going to have to start it on those Anheuser lines. For the Lefty Lines, I really want to compare the Maiden against another very popular putter out on the market today, and that is the Paul Macbeth Luna from Discraft. You can see from the flights, you could almost stack these on top of each other. They are oh so similar. Both have that very straight flight, and they even check up and start to hyzer out at almost the exact same time. And when it comes to glide, they are both very, very close as well, which honestly is super cool to see because I've always loved the flight of the Luna, but it was just a little bit too deep for my liking, specifically as a thrower. So the Westside Discs Maiden is a welcomed alternative to the Luna. So what are my final thoughts on the Maiden? Well, it is a great point and shoot putter, even for players with slower arm speeds like myself. It is going to be very straight with a little bit of a fade at the very end. It's still torque resistant enough where I don't have to worry about it fully turning over at any point, but if I do put it on an Anheuser line, it is going to hold and not turn into a thrower. Also, that shallower profile, very much appreciated for players with smaller hands like myself. Alright everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to visit GreatLakesDisc.com to purchase your next disc. Until the next time, keep banging them chains.